Dottie, and this is Dottie's Daisies. I'm looking like a hot mess. I was gonna do a Theme Thursday video and a tag video. I had all this stuff planned. And disclaimer, there's gonna be some ugly crying. And I don't edit my videos. I mean, add things. Well, I guess that's called editing, but I don't cut things out. How about that? Miss Avery. I'm sitting in an empty room right now. Besides, I do her head hanging on the shelf and a cabinet. Well, and a fan. Other than that, it is a empty room. They don't prepare you for this. Everyone says it's easy, and it's not. Bringing this little person into the world, and they become your world. You teach them how to talk, walk. You kiss every boo-boo, even if it's on their hiney or their toe or a dirty toe, bottom of a dirty foot, knees. You teach them how to write, read. You go to every school function, sporting again. You give up your whole life for these little people. And they become your whole world. I got up this morning and I messaged my oldest son because he's been, staying a lot with his best friend. And I asked him, I said, "You coming home?" And it was the way I know you can't tell when you text somebody, but you can tell, if that makes sense. He was texting me and he's like, "It'll be later tonight." And I was like, "No, we have things we have to take care of. You need to get here so I can help you with your taxes. And we can, go get your appointment for your glasses and get this and that and this and that." And he started saying, "Well, I'm doing this and doing that." And I was like, you keep saying that you want to move out. I said, "So have you done that? What's going on? You haven't been home in a week." And he says, "I want to move out, Mama." He says, "I want to move in with my friends." He says, "I'm just scared to leave." He goes, "Because I don't want to upset you and Daddy." Well, I just told him to come home and bring some boxes and I'd help him. And I lost it. And I have been horrible. Horrible mess. Because this mama is not ready to let go. I'm not ready. I haven't been ready. Stupid fly. I hate a fly. I would show you the room, but it's kind of, he's lived in it for years and being a sweaty gym boy, and he's got where he's had candles and they fell over on the floor. I gotta come in here and steam clean my carpets, and I'm gonna repaint in here. But he come home. I didn't cry. I cried, but I didn't cry when he was here. I didn't want to see me cry, and then him decided he didn't want to go because he was hurting me. Because that's not fair to you. That's part of life. That's growing up. And I know it is. But this was my baby. He's my baby. He's what made me a mama. Me and his daddy made him. And he made me a mama. We were cleaning his room up, and he has his very first book that my mom made, and it's his picture from when he was in the hospital, and it's like my very first book or something. And then he has a Winnie the Pooh book that he got in the hospital the day I had him from my granny, and it was something else. Oh, a quilt my sister-in-law had made for him, and he was pulling all this stuff out of the closet, and he said, "Mama, I don't want to take this with me." He says, "But I don't want to, I don't want to get rid of it," and I don't. So I just told him, I said, "Just leave it here," and I said, "I'll put it up." And I helped him clean this room up. Well, clean out this room and do, bags of garbage and clean out drawers and TV stands and closet and whatever else. And I didn't cry. I was not going to let him see me cry. And then he had to call his best friend because his younger brother wouldn't come in here and help. I do have a younger son. My boys are 10 months apart, so right now Braxton's the oldest and Devin's the youngest, and right now they're 18 and 19. So Braxton had to call his friends to come help him load up the truck, and I did really good. I didn't cry. I went to the bathroom, turned on the fan, and turned on the water, and cried. Then I washed my face, and I come back out smiling and joking. And letting him know everything's going to be okay. But my heart was ripped. It was ripping out. Because I'm not ready for my baby to leave. And then they get everything loaded up. And he starts leaving out. So I'm telling him, "Oh, get this out of the kitchen and get this food out of the kitchen and get these bags of food and take with you. Those are things that you like. Those are things that Mama has bought that you like." I said, "Or you can leave it here and I can cook and you can come home and eat." And I stopped and I said, "This is always home." I know I look ugly crying and I don't care right now. So I told him that this was always home, and I was getting boxes of macaroni and cheese, and because my son loves anything noodles and cheese. And I was just getting stuff, and I was like, "Here, put it in a bag." I was like, "Take the popcorn, take this, and take that," I was like, and then I was like, "Don't forget your toothbrush. Don't, go to the bathroom, get all your, your toiletries out. Don't forget that stuff." And he come back in, and he had a pair of shoes and a hat sitting in the living room that he pulled off. I said, "Baby, don't forget your shoes and your hat." And he picked it up, and he goes, "Well, I'm fixing to leave." And I lost it. I tried not to cry in front of him because I didn't want him to feel guilty. I didn't want him to feel like he was doing anything wrong. I know this is a part of life, but what do you do when everybody they're your whole world. My children are my whole world. I tell everybody that my boys are my friends too. We can joke and play, and I come here and I'll play video games with them, and we watch movies, and they help me cook. And I told him when he left, I said, you know how to cook, you know how to clean, you know how to wash your clothes. He said, yes, ma'am. I was like, okay. I said, and all I could do was tell him I love him. And he told me, he said, Mama, quit crying. He goes, if you don't quit, I'm going to start crying. And he just left. He left because he didn't want to cry in front of me. So all day, I haven't come back in here. I held her. I don't know why. After he left, I picked her up. I picked her up and held her. And of course, I know Mia knew something was wrong because Mia stayed in my lap, Tucker stayed at my feet, and my youngest son kept coming in and going, Mom, are you all right? You gonna be okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be okay. Lord knows when he moves, it's gonna be horrible. It's gonna be horrible. I'm not gonna be able to live. This is hard, y'all. This is so hard, and I knew it was coming. It's new. So if you call me, text me, message me today and I didn't answer, that's why. Because I can't talk without crying. And my youngest son took me and my husband out to dinner tonight, and it took everything I could do not to cry. I just wanted to sit there and cry. I didn't feel like eating. I didn't really eat my supper. My supper's still in there in a box. I just couldn't eat. I'm gonna miss him. He loves to talk. He loves laughing. He loves music. He loves music. And he's one of those people that he can listen to 80s music all the way to New Age. One of his favorite singers is Garth Brooks. And I'll never forget, first time he ever heard Poison, it was Every Rose Has Its Thorn. And he come in from school one day and he was like, Mama, you gotta hear this new band, it's awesome. And he put it on his little iPod. It was an iPod. And he said, listen to this. And it was Poison. And I just busted out laughing. I was like, I know who that is. And he likes to dance. And he's got pretty eyes. And when he was little, he had red hair. Like a reddish color hair when he was born. And it stayed up and he looked like a little rooster. So I called him my little rooster. He was 4 pounds and 19 ounces. No, he was 4 pounds and 19 inches when I had him. I had him almost 2 weeks early. But he was just a small baby. Beautiful. He had beautiful coloring. He didn't have jaundice. He was so pretty. He had it was like blonde around the edges and then red, and he had this little comb, looked like a rooster. It didn't matter how much you brushed it, it always popped right back up. And as he got older, he always had a smile on his face when he woke up and when he has a dimple right here. When he smiles really big, you can see it. He's a know-it-all. He thinks he knows everything. and he'll argue with a stump. But he's a good kid, and I know he's gonna be a great man, and I love him, and I know he can come home. And he lives right here in town, I understand that, but he's not in my house anymore. He's not here for me to come over here and flip the light off when he falls asleep with the light on. I will never forget the first time he laughed. You know, like a baby laughs, like that hearty laugh. Me and my husband were sitting at Sonic, and my husband looked at me and said, "Whatever." And the way he said "whatever," Braxton just busted out one of them gut laughs, and he just laughed and laughed and laughed, and we turned and looked at him, and my husband said, "Whatever," and Braxton would do it over and over and over. And then he loves Blue's Clues, and he loved the Wiggles and things like that, because he didn't really watch it. He listened to it. He was really on the go, but he loved the music, and he would do all the dances and stuff, and he loved Blue's Clues. And this one day we had all went to town and got some lunch, and we had parked out in the parking lot, and he looked up at the sign, and he said, "Mama," and I said, "What, baby?" He said "Tangle." I said, "What?" He said "Tangle," and he was meaning rectangle. He had seen the sign, and the sign was shaped like a rectangle. Or when he was little, you would play a game with him, and you'd say, "Braxton, where are you at? Braxton, where you are?" I said, "Where are you at, Braxton?" You know, and you're looking around playing with him. And he'd go, "Here I are, Mama, here I are." I don't know if I'm going to share this or not. I don't see why not. This is life, and this is what we go through every day. I'm not looking for sympathy. I just wanted to talk. I just wanted to put that out there and let him know he will always be my baby. It doesn't matter if he's 19, 40, or 60. He will be my baby forever. He's my bee. He's my boo-boo. If you look at anything, I've got him marked and everything, and he's my boo-boo. And if he does see this, I love you very, very much. And I'm proud of you. You keep doing what you're doing, because you're turning into a wonderful man. I'm gonna go blow my nose. Y'all have a good evening.